Hello, Nigerians, and welcome back once again to Matters Arising. It's so glad to have you guys back on board today, Dr. Damian and Gideon. So let's
Thank
go
you.
right into what brought us here today, the Nigerian Labour Congress. So as at December 17th, right, Nigerian Labour Congress said, the chairman said it would brief its organs before deciding on his planned protest after a meeting with the president in Abuja. They were supposed to hold in the early hours of Wednesday, right? And then in the interview, the NLC president said that we came for consultation with the president and we are finished, so we have to go back to our meeting and then continue tomorrow. By tomorrow, we will get the outcome. And when he was asked if the protest was still going to hold, he said, if I'm insisting or I'm not insisting, I will communicate to you. Now, as at the early hours after the meeting, it's shocking to find out that NLC says the protest will continue despite meeting with Tinubu, with the president Tinubu. After their meeting, so addressing reporters on Wednesday, the NLC president said the protest would hold as planned. So currently there is the ongoing protest. But then something striking, right, is Edo State. Now the Edo State NLC factions differ on planned nationwide strike. So it said the two factions of the Nigerian Labour Congress in those states they differed on the planned nationwide strike, saying that the leadership led by Mr. Odion Olaye urged all affiliate unions not to participate in the protest, saying it was ill-timed and the union is aware of security challenges in the country and other parts of the world. So they have said in a statement, we of the Edo State Council have decided not to be part of the planned protest amidst. So I really want to get to understand how, first of all, how are these protests being even planned in the first place? Because for the chairman to come out and say there's going to be a protest, and then even the state
Only,
council, Edo State Council is actually coming and saying it was ill time. That means there was no proper timing. Did they not convey and decide if they want to go on a protest before they go on a protest, or the chairman just automatically decides on when a protest should be held, and then boom, everybody have to take up course?
Yeah, the truth about it is that I don't really believe that maybe Nigeria has a labor union.
how do you know?
Yes, a labor union that openly supported a political party in the previous election, a labor union that we cannot even trust what they are doing. Now, in fact, unionism died in Nigeria since after Dam Susumile
Mm.
left as the chairman of the Nigerian. These days, you see labor union coming out to say one thing. In fact, before you open your eyes, you will hear another thing. In fact, today, you see Nigerian union coming out to say, okay, there will be a protest. In fact, as you are going for the protest, just be checking your phone because agreement may be made behind your back. And the timing of the protest doesn't really make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they are looking for Christmas.
No, no, no,
And
no, no, no. It's stated clearly that the protest is against it's
insecurity,
insecurity,
yes,
the
focus on.
insurgency, and all of that. So I don't think it's to be,
But then
uh,
their focus is on what's the name? Surging kidnappings, killings, and attacks across
except
the
they have
country.
other interior motive. You can now bring in
So
the
if they
issue
are
of
protesting for
Christmas.
insecurity,
Yeah.
why is Edo State now coming out
No,
saying they don't want to
Then
be
you
part
begin
of
to
it
ask
because of
question
the
whether there was no
security?
meeting,
Thank you. That's
whether
that's
there was
that's,
nobody
that's the
come
question
out
now,
to
I
say.
really
in
want us
fact,
to get to
Edo
answer.
State's chapter of labor union coming
Mm.
out to say they are not part of it. We still tell you that all these processes are politicalized.
Mm.
In fact, I expect labor not to protest about insecurity, but to come out with a framework to tackle insecurity. Which framework are they coming out to tackle? Is it always to blame the government?
But if you look at it critically, they might tell you that yeah, it's not their role to
Now,
come up with strategies of dealing with this.
let me tell you.
They are
Now
trying
let
to
me tell
mount
you.
pressure on the government to
No,
to do something.
the real thing there is that different labor union, different organization of labor union actually support themselves.
Yeah.
And for a long time, it has been on national television, different news outlets that our soldiers are not well paid.
Yeah.
Our soldiers do not even have a good armory to fight this.
For civilians, yeah.
This is the type of protest that they should be coming out and Nigerians will support.
Well, but the call for action,
Yeah.
right? Their call is not just for the labor rights, but for safer communities, functional public services, and effective governance. That the security situation is affecting their workers' ability to commute, work, educate their children, and live without fear.
Yeah.
So it's the protest, right? It's for the mental stability, right, of their workers. Because I mean, you can't tell me to go to work when I know killings is happening. You can't tell me to, by this, and then this period of time is where people are traveling,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
they're trying to, advocate for these things,
For a
so
safer,
that for a safer
community,
environment.
safer road, not all
Thank
of
you
that.
for their
So
workers.
it's part of what
I
they are
think the
actually
point
fighting
we should
for.
be talking about is what is Labour doing to ensure that the government succeeds.
What is Labour supposed to do? Let's start from breaking down what is
Now,
even the actual role of Labour Congress.
Now, apart from having a union, most of all this union belongs to different institutions of the government. At institutional level, how are they supporting the government to succeed? How are they supporting the government to succeed? Because tomorrow you hear about protests, and after a meeting, everybody will go back and go and sleep and all those things. Do you get? So if they are looking for Christmas gift from the government, they should have come out and say, our president, you haven't actually do any Christmas giveaway to the union.
I still don't believe that that is
No,
the case.
but these
Personally, I think it's right about time there is a protest against the security.
I think
And Labour Congress coming out to say yes, it's about time. I think the citizens should
representing
ban them and say yes, it's really about time too.
citizens, right?
Because it seems the government does not really know the extent of this thing. I wouldn't say they don't know, but so far we've not really seen any tangible effort to eradicate this issue. So this guy is coming up to say, yeah, we are tired of this. Citizens are tired of this. We want to mount pressure. We need this done. We need this. And who knows? Welfare of army could be part of. Though we've not seen it in their request, but it could be part of it. And if it is, then it's a good cause.
Now, but I will now tell you that from my house to this place, there is no any sense of protest happening anywhere.
Yeah, because they are supposed to have a meeting.
Because very soon you will now believe with me that the labor is just like a toothless bulldog. They bark so much, but they can't do anything.
So the thing is,
Can you say their power is kind of restricted by the government? Could it be no?
No, their power is restricted by let me say by mingling. Most of the members are mingling with what the government. In fact, they are supposed to be a neutral body. In fact, as it is now, since most opposition political parties has actually failed Nigerians, Labour should be the voice. They should be the pressuring the government to do the right thing. But since you hear this agreement, see, you cannot romance with somebody you are supposed to checkmate and still expect the result to be the same thing.
but that's why I think when even after the meeting, right, there was no agreement or there was no truce, nothing. There was no like positive result from the meeting. Maybe that's why they said they were still going to hold with the.
Even if there is a positive result, see, look at how it works. You meet the president, you discuss with the president, you go back to your committee. So even if the president says, okay, whatever demand that you have made, I'm going to implement all of them. The chairman has no right to immediately after that place call out the strike. You still go back to the committee, and they will deliberate on whatever the president says. So he has not said anything different from the normal way, the normal modus operandi of how it's supposed to happen. So, but I'm trying to tell you that all these shenanigans, at the end of it, everything, you will still see that protest will not happen.
Well, let's see, because already the police has already deployed security, right, to ensure that the protest is violence free.
Yeah, and that's because they got intelligent that there would be kind of disruption from
There is no
opposition
intelligence
party.
or anything.
It's in the news.
There is no intelligence.
So I
or
think that
anything.
is why
See, let me
the
tell
police
you,
were deployed.
that report from police that
Yeah.
once any group say they are going to do protest, you hear about one intelligence report or another. There is nothing. Just a way to make sure that people do not protest. People do not voice out their concerns. Do you get? Once any group say we are going to protest marginalization or all this, the next thing you hear, police will now give out this thing and say,
Intelligence reports.
if there is an intelligence report, either it comes from police or it comes from DSS or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but why do they not use the same intelligence report to foil out for a lot of attacks that is going on in different parts of this country? So it doesn't just happen that way.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope and see. Let's see how far the protest will go. I hope that the protest will yield result. That is, if they are even going to hold it at the end of the day, because they said it will still go through.
I really wish
it will still push through. So let's just see.
I really wish it holds, because it has potential. It has potential if it holds, which I believe it will hold.
If people are already coming out, if Edo State is not interested in doing this thing,
I think we've not asked the question, why is Edo State?
They're saying because of insecurity. This is the period. This is the period where things happen. December period is a period that we all know things happen like this, like issues of kidnapping.
If you look at the former statement that Edo State governor has actually made about his support to the sitting president, do you think that the president of Edo State, the governor of Edo State, will allow any protest against the government to happen?
Well,
but it is the right of the NLC to organize protests. You can't cancel a protest.
Let me tell you Let me tell you something. It's just like there is a wide saying that freedom of speech is granted, but freedom after speech is not granted. Freedom of protest is actually
granted, but
freedom after protest is on your own.
So let's see what the protest will yield. I hope it yields positive result, because I know protests in Nigeria, for one, is not one that yields result. Even even the strikes and everything that they like, the ongoing and all of that. I mean, imagine one day where all of us just decide not to do anything. Like, everybody in Nigeria just shuts down completely. That would really make any sense. But moving on to the next matter that is arising.
Yeah. All right. On the news, Nigeria police insists on tinted glass permit policy, deny violating court orders. No, on what was that? On 16th, right? On the 16th, Tuesday 16th, there was report that the NBA strongly condemned the planned resumption of enforcement of the motor vehicle tinted glass permit policy by the Nigerian police force.
So the truth about it is that it is very shaming.
Okay.
Very shaming that Nigerian police uses tinted glass ban, uplifting ban or whatever as a way of making money. Now, we have to be honest. If you take a what I would call a systematic review of 3 IGPs, 3 past IGPs, you discover that once someone is just made an IGP, the first thing is to ban it. And after like 2 months, he will start his own.
So it's now look like a money-making scheme or something.
Tomorrow we start it. Now, let's be honest. Let's analyze this thing honestly. Let's look at it from honest point of view.
Yeah.
If Nigeria does not want people to use tinted cars, ban it at the ports.
Right.
We permit the importation of tinted cars. In fact, if they don't want people to use tinted cars, they should have instructed the customs, say, okay, no, custom and immigration, no tinted vehicle should be imported in Nigeria. But we leave all those things, people now import it in. Then you start saying, okay, you must get your tinted permit. The question is, has the tinted permit reduced crime? The answer is no. Has it reduced crime? The answer is no.
So, but what's
I'm still coming. I'm still
okay?
coming.
Okay.
Now, when I tell you that Nigerian police uses it as an avenue of making money,
Mm.
do you know there is a private account number, backway account number, with account number 400 100 101 7918.
Mm.
This is an account number, a private account number that the current police regime is using to collect money for tinted payments. It is
Private.
not even, see, President Muhammad Buhari started a policy, and that policy is the TSA, single treasury account.
Yeah.
Every payment you are supposed to make to the government should go into that account. But currently, according to the NBA president, they are using a private account number to collect this money. For what purpose? Is that not a crime? It's on Punch News. A statement from the NBA president.
It is actually sad.
Now, apart from that, using a private account to collect that money is just corruption.
It's criminal. Yeah.
Number two, there is equally a court order, there is equally a court litigation that was instituted by NBA.
Yes, they did that.
The court's code is FHC Abuja CS 182 2005.
2025.
2025. Instituted against that. Before then, a court in Warri by John Martins versus Inspector General of Police, where the court ruled restrained police from doing that. Was still, see, let me tell you something. If you look at data, one of the institutions that doesn't obey court orders in Nigeria is Nigerian police.
Sadly.
I'm telling you, this is an organization, an institution that was actually formed to
enforce
law and order. Tell me how an institution that's supposed to enforce law and order and he cannot obey court order,
I think to back up,
cannot obey his will. There was a document I saw where someone put up a data on number of court orders, court judgments that the police are supposed to obey. They don't obey any.
And I think to back up that statement you just made, right? The NBO said it was deeply disturbing that barely one working day after the court relied on the undertaking of defendants' counsel, a contradictory statement emerged from the Nigerian police force announcing a reactivation of the enforcement. So it means, and the statement was like, it represents a reckless overreach, like a contempt. The portrait that the Nigerian police force does not have regard for the rule of law as a body that is supposed to be people are supposed to uphold the rule of law. And then their policy is really, according to NBA, they said their policy is unconstitutional, illegal, and extortionate. Also a threat to citizens, because why would you be imposing financial implications on the use of tinted?
See the truth here. They first started with CRM, where just a central database that all car owners have
to register on.
And it needed a court order to stop that. They now say, okay, tinted permit has stopped. Now they have started it again. Now the question is, the insecurity that is happening in this country, is there any correlation with tinted permits? The question is, how?
Yes, because when we talk about kidnapping,
okay,
it's mostly done in tinted glasses.
Can you give me an example of one that has happened? Is it the Kwara student that they took?
No. Kidnapping that happens on the road. Road kidnapping, not people barging into your house to take you from your home.
Kidnapping, they carry you and enter bush. We all know those things.
Through the cars, you have to enter the car.
Which car?
It's which car?
They carry you and enter bush.
This thing happens. It's happening in Abuja.
Now the question now is, since we started talking about tinted permit, has it solved the one chance problem in Abuja?
Let's start from there.
Well, there is no data to back that.
Has it actually solved the one chance problem?
But that is the expectation, right? That is the expectation.
Now, how do you now track that a car having tinted permit, maybe they are seeing the occupants and all those things? Now, how do you actually track this? But the point is, if the police see that this is good for national security, there are two things to do. approach the lawmakers. Let
Mhm.
them pass it as a law and
And
integrate it
integrate
into the
it.
system.
Thank you.
So the payment will go through the proper channel, not with a private account number.
No, I think it has already been passed into law since
Into law,
1991. Yes.
Tinted permits.
Yeah.
Please, can you
February
sign the law
8th.
for us? No, it's not
Sign
probably.
the- sign
Sign
the law.
By
See, the point is
General
this.
Babangida.
The point is this. By Babangida,
Yes.
a military governor.
No, he was in power then.
No.
He was the one in power then.
If a military junta makes a decree,
Yeah.
now we are in democracy.
Mm-hmm.
The highest that will happen is for the National Assembly has to revisit it.
Amendments.
But the point I'm trying to make is this. If it has been passed to law, which means it's legal, right?
Right.
Then if it is legal, which means does the law provide that a private account number should be used for it?
Mm.
See?
That is the main
These are
difference. And that is where the
critical
corruption
questions we're
comes
supposed
in.
to be asking ourselves.
That's where the corruption comes.
So
Because
there
I
is
could remember
something
something that
something
happened.
shady that the police is doing.
I could remember
That's-
something that happened with a
and-
motorist.
And again,
Yeah.
if it is legal, subsequent IGPs will not come out and say today is banned, tomorrow the ban is lifted, today is this, because IGPs has no power to suspend any law.
Mhm.
There's no power to suspend any law in this country.
Okay. So talking about the corruption part of it, right? Something happened. What was it? I think August, where a motorist was harassed. Where was that? Somewhere in the motorist was harassed somewhere in River State, right? And then he was asked to bring 1 million naira for the whole issue to be
resolved.
Yeah, by police officers. 1 million naira.
I mean,
Let me
Where is the money going to? To the private account?
But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. The desire to start enforcement again is well calculated. Let me tell you why it's well calculated.
Okay.
This is a festive season. People are traveling. People will be on route.
and they become,
Many cars will be on route.
and they're coming back January.
Yes,
Because this
season now.
is supposed to start January 2nd.
In fact, most people that use Nigerian road to travel, you don't want delay. You don't want maybe you are traveling with your family and somebody park you beside the road, asking you about tinted permits and all those things. So these are strategic.
This is New Year gift.
It's not a New Year gift. It is, we Catholic, we call it offer collection. So they want to actually make some collection out of it. You get. And again, even the tinted, even car papers that we have, we use car papers. The last time I renewed my car papers, I used 26,000 something. I had that the government actually reviewed the price. So this tinted permit of a 10, can't it be reintegrated within the system? Can't it be reintegrated within the system? So the fact about this is that if police actually are serious in taking this, or maybe it's of a national security concern, they should do the right thing in a right way.
Yeah. Let's see how much they are able to make by January, by the end of January, because I know a lot of money will be made by January.
Unaccounted money.
But I mean the NBA, right, in a statement, right, the NBA said something that is very shocking. It said that the NBA has actually appealed to the president to intervene, warning that the planned resumption of enforcement would undermine the authority of the courts and impose unjustified financial hardship on Nigerians. And then they have actually warned the IGP that they are going to initiate a committal proceedings if they should go on, if their directive was ignored. So I mean, this is looking like fire for fire. So let's see what happens.
There's a clash between
let's see what happens and the NBA.
Can you look at where we are?
The truth is that the police is disgraceful to actually ignore court orders. Court orders. 2 federal court orders. It's disgraceful. And if the allegation by the NBA chairman that the police is using a private account
to collect money,
to collect a federal government money, I think it's an abuse of office.
well, let's see how far. We'll check the report by the end of January. Okay, then moving on to the last thing for today.
Yep.
The US ban on Nigeria. Nigeria has been banned again.
Yes. So on the news, Trump restricts U.S. entry for Nigeria and 23 other countries. So
As at yesterday,
yeah,
as at December 16th, the Donald Trump administration has imposed travel restrictions on Nigerians hoping to travel to the US, citing security concerns
exactly.
and difficulties in vetting nationals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's saying that they can't, because of the growing insecurity in
Exactly.
Nigeria and all of that, and then
Yeah.
so now they're trying to impose ban on Nigeria, a
Let me
travel ban on Nigerians, and they're suspending their entry for several visa categories. Like it's really, I don't know, and it's funny how this is happening after the whole issue of the intervention of the US drama and all of that. And now they're imposing a ban.
The truth is that President Trump is a businessman.
Okay.
He's a businessman, and he understands how to woo the third world countries to a negotiation table. Yes.
I think, funny
Now,
enough,
I want to give you some reasons. Now, look at, do you know, if you know the data, have the data of Nigerian youth traveling abroad for education, master's, PhD, first degree, you now notice that the UK universities, the American universities, are the revenue that they are making from Nigerians alone who are coming to study abroad is enormous. That's number one. Now, if actually that the United States government is placing a visa ban in order to solve insecurity in Nigeria, because of insecurity in Nigeria, they should target our politicians.
There are other concerns.
They should target our politicians.
There are other concerns,
Who sponsor,
which is valid if you come from their point. They'll tell you that there is issue of overstay. What is it called? Overstay visa. What do I mean? People coming to study, coming in the name of studying, and then after their study, they remain in the
and
states.
you know how they said
And also
they were
business
having
people,
issues with vetting their
you understand?
nationals,
So
right?
no, it's a major concern. That is, I think, this is what, alongside with the security issues, right? This is what Trump is trying to tackle, saying that you stay in accordance to just comply to your visa term. It's 5 years. After 5 years, pack and
now
go.
the question is, the other countries that's coming, don't they stay?
No, it's not. It's not just Nigeria.
Yes, it started security issues.
Yeah.
But the fact is this, it is disgraceful. Now, last month, President Trump hosted an Al Qaeda leader who toppled the government of Bashar al-Assad inside Syria. Right?
Okay.
And those things didn't raise any security
concerns.
Right? So today, Nigerians are actually traveling to overseas. Let me tell you something. Behind every government policy, but from what I understood from Trump rhetorics and a lot of it, behind all those rhetorics, there is always an economic interest hidden behind all of them.
And funny enough, when you talk about the economic interest, right, just to buttress on what you said, there is the US and Zambia 5-year health cooperation framework that was valued at $1.5 billion. Now, the signing of that document, of that policy, that agreement, was postponed on the 11th of December. Instead of moving forward, the US officials told the president of Zambia that the health funding will now be contingent on progress in mining sector cooperation and broader business reforms. So it's him withholding this agreement on a health funding for business. So I think it's raised certain concerns, because many people were saying, right, critics said, they're arguing that where public health objectives are subordinated by geopolitical and commercial interest, economic interest, because now it's from the way they are doing things, it's making it look as though they are linking foreign aid for Zambia to access to critical minerals, and trying to counter China's dominance in the African industry, because in African mining, so I think we have that Africa has a very close connection with China. So I think right now they're trying to find ways to cripple that connection.
They need a balance. Like I said, they need a balance. They need you at the negotiation table. So when you come to the negotiation table,
Mhm.
they will now give you terms and conditions. This is what it is.
Mm.
This is just what it is. You have to come to the negotiation table, and he has to drag you. And if I should borrow the words of Professor Patrick Lumumba, Lumumba said that the problem is not that Africans are dragged into the negotiation table. They are not dragged into the negotiation table as a fellow negotiator. They are dragged there as a dinner to be shared. And that is what is happening. China is dragging us to the negotiation table
US is
with
dragging
bits
us.
and roads.
Hmm.
Russia is dragging us, promising security in Sahel.
Mhm.
US is equally dragging, coming
It's
to
foreign.
fighting
It's foreign
security.
aid.
So see, all these things they are dragging us. But the problem is that our leaders will actually have a rethink. You go for medical terrorism in the US. The Nigerian doctor, the Nigerian citizen you fail to give a better education will be the doctor that will attend to you in UK or in the US.
Mhm.
So why can't we fix our country so that we will not be like a woman who is so desperate to get married and is running after any man he sees on the road? Because that is what African countries are doing to the world leaders. Anybody you see on the road, you just carry your bag and run to the person. Not as a negotiator, but as a dinner to be shared.
So now, what does this? Let's just to round up. What does this
Mm.
now mean for us Nigerians? Because
Yeah.
I mean, me that was
Especially
saying which
students.
day was that? I said I want to Japan, I want to
Do
go
you
to the US.
understand?
Now that they are saying they are going to, they are putting partial travel ban on Nigerians to travel,
Yeah.
right? Because of the growing insecurity. What do you think we should do as a government, as a Nigerians, to be able to tackle this? Because our insecurity now is so open to the whole world. Nobody, like, there's no how you can that nobody
That is
in
where
this world
Nigeria
does
is
not
right now.
know that there's insecurity happening. And if US
Sadly.
is actually putting a ban, only God knows what country or what
Convenience.
continent would put a ban on Nigerians
Yeah.
traveling to their city.
And,
So,
and you won't blame them because it's everywhere. It's spelled
so
out.
what what
You
what
can-
what
so
do we
loud.
need to
no,
do
we
as like
can
we
make-
need to find solutions to
no,
certain
we can go
things.
to
Oh please. Oh please, who's going to Burkina Faso? So
But,
this is a challenge to Nigerian
So,
government, right?
by the way,
Mm.
abroad is abroad.
but yeah, I think the question is legit because what can the president or
What can
the
the
government
Nigerian
do about
government do
this?
about this? Because this is
Let
growing
me
and
let
it's
me tell you
increasing.
something. It affects the government more than it affects you. And I
Mm.
will assure you they will solve it. See, 90% of their children are in abroad study and they are still hoping to go to US to study.
Right.
In fact, the revelation of Dangote, do you understand, actually equally
Mm-hmm.
proves that most of them have their children
Yeah,
here.
of
Yeah.
course.
Then most of them are equally are there for one medical treatment or the other.
Oh yeah, medical
And that was why
treatment.
that
Yeah.
Very
during
true.
Yeah.
the COVID,
Mm.
a lot of people died not because of the COVID,
Because
but
of
because they couldn't go for checkup abroad.
outside the country. Yeah.
Yes, because of restriction of flights and
Flights and
movement and a
all.
lot of things.
Mm.
So
So
don't worry. This problem they are going to solve them. And when they solve them, people will still going to go there. See, I'm telling you, it's not about security. In fact, before the next 2 months, you will notice that security might still be there, but US will still open their border. Trying to tell you that they are trying to drag us to the negotiation table.
Mm.
What are we bringing? What are we offering?
that's well, Nigerian government, now don't hear. Before another country will come and ban us, let's do something about that.
Let's do the needful. Let's do the needful. All right, it's been a great conversation. And just a recap of what we've talked about here. Just talked about the Trump restriction of Nigeria and other 23 other countries from accessing visa for the meantime. Also talked about the police issue with tinted glass permit. And lastly, we discussed on the Labour Congress planned protest that they are still working on. We are still looking at these issues and paying key attention to them. I will rest assured we'll bring every breaking news to you in due time. Stay with us. This matter arising. See you in the next show.